Once again, good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's webinar. On behalf of ESU, thank you all for joining us. We are delighted to have you here for a session on emotional intelligence and self-development, a topic that plays a crucial role not only in academic and professional success, but also in our personal growth and well-being. It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Ms. Kizra Amin. She is the head of our psychology department and also a lecturer with extensive experience in the field of psychology. Her work and teaching focus on understanding human behavior, emotional awareness, and personal development, making her especially well suited to guide us through today's discussion. During this session, Ms. Kizra Amin will share valuable insights into emotional intelligence and how we can develop it to improve our relationships, decision making, and overall self growth. We'll also have time for questions at the end, so please feel free to note them down as we go. Without further ado, I invite Ms. Kizra Amin to begin the session. Over to you, Ms. Kizra.
Thank you so much, Durgashni. Hopefully I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar on emotional intelligence and also self-development. So we aim to talk about this topic not just so that we all understand emotional intelligence as just a definition. Anytime a psychological concept we speak of, we hope that students and learners and educators always listen to it and start applying it into their own lives as well. So when I speak about emotional intelligence today, I hope that all of us can have a look at the definition and understand how we can apply it in our day-to-day lives as well. Because even though we look at mental health as complex ways, I think small steps in our day-to-day life will give us a lot of ways or give us a lot of opportunities to make our overall life and quality of life much better. So I hope that even though this topic, emotional intelligence, may seem like a simpler thing that we might not look at too complex in a very complex manner, we hopefully are able to tell you the importance of it in applying into our day-to-day life. So before I get on extensively into the emotional intelligence webinar itself, I hope to guide you all to our agenda of the day. All right. Thank you so much. I think, Ishra, you have a comment about the topic, but yes, today's topic is about emotional intelligence. I hope you all can see my screen. Please let me know if the screen is not visible or if the audio quality is any good or bad. But yes, I hope that you all can get the gist of the emotional intelligence related information that we have present here today. So welcome to ESU. We are from the Faculty of Life Sciences at ESU, and we hope to guide you all into the objective of the session, which is about introduction to our psychology courses. I myself represent the psychology department at ESU, belonging to the Faculty of Life Sciences, and as well as the webinar on emotional intelligence and self-development. So, when you all have come across somebody that you meet on your day-to-day lives, and you feel like your interaction with them, the way they speak to you, the way they are talking to you, it may not feel the most positive, or it may feel that they are currently speaking a little abruptly in the session, or they are speaking a little bit in a way that is not correct for the current situation or the current context. So, uh, so just uh, so just the reason being that sometimes there is a possibility that these kind of situations could make us question why somebody is currently speaking in this manner, or somebody is currently missing exactly what the person is trying to hear. So I just want you all to think about a person like that you come into your day-to-day life, and also the fact that why would they be behaving like that. So just a minute. So what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is a person's ability to identify and manage their own emotions as well as recognize the feelings of others. So when somebody is going through a bad situation, or they're going through a bad hour in their time or day, it is important that there is somebody who is also able to detect that. I think in our current world, in our current situation, I think this is a skill that we are currently missing out. We are not observing people around us, and we are not observing people who are currently going through certain goods and bads both. Sometimes someone could have a difficult day, and they might be having a tough situation explaining it to somebody, and we are unable to recognize that this person's behavior is not their character, but rather the hour or the kind of situation they're currently in, which is making them behave in this manner. So emotional intelligence is our ability to realize that, or understand that another person's current situation is making them act in this way, or another person's current situation is making them behave in this way. So I hope that this definition makes you understand what emotional intelligence is. It is the ability to identify and manage their own emotions, as well as recognize the feelings of others. So it is not just about recognizing others' emotions, but also one's own as well. So if you are currently angry about something and then you lash out at somebody else, I understand that sometimes it's difficult to control yourself in moments of anger. But understanding that you were angry and understanding that you did lash out at somebody, that self-awareness is what we call emotional intelligence. So moving on to the next slide. There are three ways our emotional intelligence can affect us. As a human being, we are sort of divided into three ways: emotions, feelings, and moods. So it is possible, I will not go in too much depth about this, but it is possible that sometimes our emotions can become our feelings, and those feelings can become our moods. So it is not that we are constantly irritated. That irritation could be a mood, and the emotion behind that irritation could be anger, could be frustration, and the feeling behind that could be that somebody has hurt you or somebody has upset you. So it is very important that sometimes when we are in a situation, we look at what exactly has happened, and we are able to break it down into these three things, because you should not confuse your moods as your emotions, or you should not confuse your emotions as feelings. These are very three different distinct things, and one of the ways you can be emotional intelligent is when you are able to break down your situation, break down your feelings, or break down your emotions and moods all into what they exactly are. Then we come to the recognizing, understanding, and managing your emotions and emotions of others. So high level of emotionally intelligent people are able to look at several things. For example, if you are in a situation where somebody is treating other people well and treating you a little incorrectly. So when you are in a situation like that, it is important that you can understand that either you are being treated unfairly or another person is being treated fairly, something like that, where instead of taking it onto yourself that, oh, that person is bad or that person is not treating me fairly, you are then able to assess the situation. Why am I being treated like this? When you are then going into the reason of why, when that happens, you are able to look into a solution based thought process. Often people with low emotional intelligence are unable to have a solution focused understanding or solution focused thought process. So it's very important that when somebody who is of high emotional intelligence, they are able to understand and pick up on cues as to why is this situation happening, what has caused the situation happening. If somebody is treating me unfairly, is it because I did something? Then you are going into understanding your own thought patterns or understanding your own actions that has led to this kind of result. So before you get too emotional, literally, it is important you become intelligent about your emotions. If I pick up another example from here, picking up on others' cues. If somebody who is being a bit passive aggressive with you or passively sweet with you, where somebody who is not supposed to interact with you, it could be somebody in a family or a relative, where somebody you might not have a very good relationship with them, but still you end up having a good talk with them. So you would understand that even though our situation is not correct, or our families are not in the best of terms, what happens is that this person is still reaching out to me and speaking to me kindly. That way, you are emotionally assessing a person that they are on the on somewhat of a good relations with you. Just like this, I just want you all the participants here, that when we learn about all of these concepts, we put it into our real life. What is exactly happening that is causing one to be emotionally intelligent or not? One thing that emotional intelligence is confused as being automatically smart or having high intelligence quotient. There is something called IQ as well, but IQ is not emotional intelligence. IQ is intelligence in itself. What EI is also not controlling other people's emotions, that you manipulate them, or that they are uh, uh, where you are able to look at somebody who is currently in need, they're currently sad. So you start speaking to them in a way that can make them feel, or they can make, where it can make you feel like you can take advantage of that person's current situation and take things for your advantage. So that is something that we should not do. That is something that is very possible also when there is a person who is currently feeling low, another person who understands that they are emotionally intelligent, by the way, for understanding that somebody is feeling low. So this is like a disadvantage of being emotionally intelligent, when you misuse it to manipulate others. When somebody is feeling low and we start talking bad about another person to them, yeah, for example, it could be a simple thing at your office where a colleague and you are at a misunderstanding, and a third colleague would come to you and say, yes, that person is awful. The third person is actually emotionally intelligent to manipulate you, but it is not something that we should use it for. So it is important that you're aware that if somebody is coming to and speaking negatively about another person while you are feeling low, for you to recognize that other person is misusing your situation is also a sign of emotional intelligence. So here are some of the differences between IQ and EI, emotional intelligence and intelligence quotient. So whatever our grades in school is, our ability to memorize, our ability to analyze, concentrate, do multiple things at once, that is a sign of somebody who is intelligent in a bit more biological manner. But in an emotionally intelligent manner, somebody who is self-aware, is able to regulate themselves, is motivated, has a lot of empathy and social skills for others, and also has the ability to bear things, which we call perseverance. Even if there are negative situations, even if there is a lot of difficulties in some context, maybe it could be doing an assignment, it could be about struggling with having a relationship. The more you are able to get through and be patient with during that hardship, that we call is perseverance. And perseverance is something that a person of high emotional intelligence has. Emotionally intelligent people can be empathetic and care about how others feel. They are also able to change and be open to change, even if they think that there are situations. Sometimes we see people who are not flexible with understanding what the situation was, or they are a little inflexible with accepting their own faults. So when we look at a person who is not flexible, we do not consider them emotionally intelligent. But making mistakes is human. So if somebody is making a mistake and then we point it out to them, accepting that mistake, trying to better that mistake, and also making sure that this mistake doesn't happen, clarifying things, those are the signs of somebody who is emotionally intelligent. Focused on achieving goals while motivating others. It is a sign of good leadership as well. Sometimes I think when there is a, if I'm speaking of myself as a department, I do have people who work with me. So sometimes we have a lot of workload and we get a little bit stressed out. So sometimes it is important that as a person who is leading, I also make sure that I have a positive attitude, and also make sure that the workload is able to be managed. And I also ensure that there is no need for stressing out or burnout within the team, so that it helps other people to also get through the task. So a non-emotional intelligent person might stress about the task and create a very negative situation of the uh, current context. Whereas if deadlines are not met, if the delivery is not done, if the gradings are not done, then it is possible that they start having a lot of blaming kind of attitude. That blame, the kind of negative situation that you lead others with, is a sign of non-emotional intelligent person, because you're dragging everybody into a negative side, whereas dragging people into a positive side is a harder job, and that requires a lot of intelligence. And if you are emotional intelligence with positivity, more productivity is also possible, where you are able to, you could notice yourself when you are under pressure, under stress. It is possible that you might not even be able to read a page in a book. But if you are in a good mind and you are at the beach, you're relaxed, then it is possible that you are even able to finish a book. So emotionally intelligent people are able to have a calm and positive perspective of everything. And that results in a lot of positive things in itself, like finishing up your tasks, making people around you happy, etc., etc. The key ingredient to empathy is also one. Emotional intelligence can also be a key ingredient to empathy. In psychological terms, empathy is when we understand how other person, how one feels in other person's shoes, basically how one feels in another person's context. It is possible that you are not person who is struggling financially, but another person may be struggling financially. So when you understand that, oh, they cannot come to this party because they might be struggling financially right now, you immediately back off. You do not force them, or you do not question why you are unable to come to this, or why aren't you contributing to that, because you are understanding that their current context is leading them to take a step back. So empathy is very important if you want to become an emotionally intelligent person, where you're understanding another person's point of view, you're understanding another person's context. So if you are, if somebody is saying that they cannot come to an event, it could, multiple reasons could be possible. They are not feeling well, they might not be able to afford it, they have other things to do, or they are feeling low mentally. Instead of forcing them, it is very important that you all, as participants of this webinar, at least try and try and understand their situation, which is what we call empathy. Understanding emotions. Learn how to be a best listener. So one thing that we always teach in psychology is that active listening is the key to a lot of doorways. So even if sometimes a client or a student or any colleague, sometimes you might have no solution to their issue. Sometimes you might not be able to guide them in the best way. But just the act of listening is a very important key into them feeling good, or them feeling that they are able to take on whatever that is troubling them. You can think about your own self. Sometimes you might just want to talk to somebody without hoping or expecting for any solution. Just that listening ear might make you feel a little bit more comfortable to take on whatever is happening in their current situation. So emotional intelligence is not someone only a psychological person or person in the mental health field should have. Emotional intelligence can be with everybody, and active listening is not something only a client, a practitioner, or a psychologist does. Everybody can practice active listening, even to your friend, even to your colleague, etc. So becoming the act of understanding emotions is a very important key to becoming emotional intelligent. And becoming emotionally intelligent, a process, a method of it is actually having good active listening. So sometimes it is possible that we get a little overwhelmed with our own emotional intelligence, with our own emotions. So it is possible that you might not know how to get away with it. So how can you break into that uh, headspace that you are in? It's possible that you take a pause, you assess what is happening, you think about why you are feeling like this. And then you are able to take a pause, and you're able to look forward to what is possible for you to break away from this headspace, which is putting you in a very negative position right now. So walk. So one other thing is that you can even try to do some of the hobbies. I think nowadays we are so busy in life, we have stopped actually doing our hobbies. For example, painting, drawing, taking a walk, exercising, crosswords, etc. So all of this is possible. To change your emotions, you are required to intervene, which means break into your emotions and start to make a bigger impact into your emotions. So this is an interesting diagram over here. There are 4 ways which you can assess where you are emotionally right now. The first way could be that you are in a burnout zone, which means your energy is low, as well as, let me share the screen fully so you all can see. We call this the energy matrix, which means if your energy is also low and your energy is also on the negative side, we call it the burnout zone. When you're in the burnout zone, you might feel exhausted, you might feel depressed, you might be hopeless, and you might even feel sad. So it is important that you recognize that I'm feeling burnout because maybe my energy and my spectrum of emotions is also in the negative. So both of those together can put you in a burnout zone. But what if your energy is really high, but you are in a negative energy high? So that is also not good. People think high energy means always good. You have to see where the emotion of your energy is. So if your energy is really high, but it is on the negative side, it is possible that you are anxious and frustrated and angry, and also a little bit shout, like you could see somebody shouting at another person without any reason. It is possible that they are in a high energy matrix and in a negative spectrum. Let's look at the 2 positive ways. If you are low on energy and positive, it is possible that you are on a recovery. Maybe it is possible that after a burnout zone, you are taking care of yourself. So you put the energy matrix into the positive, and you are starting to take care of yourself by relaxing, making sure you're taking care of yourself, and also making sure that you are overcoming something that has really left you in a bit of a distress. So that recovery phase is what we call the recovery zone. And then if you are positive and really high, this is the ideal place I think we all should try to be in. It is difficult to always be high on energy and high on positivity. But when we are high on energy and positivity, we feel confident, we feel engaged, we feel optimistic, and we also feel calm. So I think if we are trying to be emotionally intelligent, it is important that we are all on the performance zone, which is high on positivity and high on energy. There is something that we should question ourselves. This is for you all as participants. This is not something that I will describe in detail, but the ways for you to understand yourself would be self-awareness. What am I feeling right now? Empathy. What is the other person feeling right now? Self-regulation. What can I do to control my emotions? Social skills. How can I show interest in this person? Motivation. Is it easy or difficult, and why? No matter which situation you are in, I encourage all of you to break down your situation into these 5 questions. If you are upset, why? First of all, you need self-awareness for you to accept it, that you are upset currently. And why empathy would be that not just with others, but with yourself. Why do you think that you are upset? What has happened or occurred into a situation which is causing you this upset? Self-regulation. What can you do to control that fact that you're currently upset? Can you do something about it? Then you should take action towards it, rather than just ensuring that you are currently having bad feelings. Then we have social skills. How can I show interest in this person? Where if somebody else is going through a negative feeling, you look at them and you feel that how can I make sure that how can I ensure that you do feel better in your current situation? It's not that you go and completely change the situation for them. That is not possible for us. Or you try to fix the situation for them, but rather showing them that I understand and I am interested in your current situation, and I'm trying to help. And motivation. Is it easy or difficult, and why? If you are trying to fix whatever situation, could be an assignment that is bothering you, or a deadline. So how can you fix it that is causing you a little bit of distress? So these are the things that I would put it out for you all. And there are, for those same situations, there is a certain way that we can ensure that our uh, outcomes are also better. So for self-awareness, you can practice mindfulness, meaning that you actually do some breathing exercises, that you actually sit with your emotions. Sometimes we want to escape our emotions. We don't want to acknowledge that we are feeling upset. So when we do not accept it, we lash out onto other people because we have not fixed it or we have not figured it out for ourselves. Self-management. When we are currently under pressure, it is very easy to shout at other people. It is very easy to blame other people, but it is very difficult to actually manage it for your own self. So self-management requires you to understand that you're currently under stress and not to react under stress, but rather manage yourself under stress. Then we have social awareness, where we, like I mentioned, I started the session earlier stating that you have to be able to communicate effectively. You have to be able to ensure that social awareness, there are people, we share the world with everybody. So if somebody agrees or disagrees with us, we are effectively communicating what we are feeling about ourselves and feeling about and accept other person's emotions as well, rather than immediately dismissing it. When we dismiss it, that is when conflict arises. When the other person feels unheard, the other person feels that, oh, you don't care about me. That is the sole reason conflicts start. So it is important that we make, if we want to be socially acceptable or we want to be socially confident, that we make the other person also, a social circle, feel that they also matter. And also relationship management. A simple way to never be in conflicts in teamwork is that you show empathy. Maybe you are in a group work and a person has not delivered their portion of the work. Instead of immediately saying, why didn't you do it? We are disappointed. You can simply start asking, can we know what happened? Is there a reason why you were unable to deliver? And then they would give their side. Maybe their family was sick, or maybe they had some other emergencies. So when they are able to explain themselves, they feel like, okay, this person is caring about me. That is why they're asking about me, rather than immediately lashing out at me. So that is something that we all can practice. Emotional intelligence actually has a lot of uh, benefits towards you. Like I mentioned earlier, being emotionally intelligent can also give you a lot of benefits and make you productive. And that productivity can come with your physical health, your mental health, your relationships, your social intelligence, which means how you interact with other people, what kind of friends group you interact with, what kind of people you interact with, and also your performance at school or work. Uh, there are certain things, like I mentioned earlier, it is important that we are able to manage ourselves for certain advantages in our life. And I think one of the best ways to lead this emotionally intelligent path for yourself is taking rest, making sure that you're taking your breathing seriously. There are many breathing exercises that you all can also look up, that we make sure that another person, before reacting under their emotions, they learn to actually process their emotions. So when they process their emotions, they are able to actually act out in a more positive manner. I think yoga is a very good profession and a very good method of processing your emotions. So anybody who wants to work on their emotional intelligence can actually pause and how to sit with their emotions. And yoga is a very good mindfulness activity to enhance those things. So if you have friends who do yoga, you would notice that they are always a little bit more relaxed than other people. So it is possible that they are practicing these methods where they are breathing properly, taking their breathing exercises seriously, and also making sure that they are actually taking care and having a good quality of life and mental health balance. So this is a way for employees, leaders, and organizations. I think a lot of emotional intelligence is required in a larger team. It is easy to be emotionally intelligent to one person, but when you have multiple people that you have to interact on a daily basis, that is when your emotional intelligence actually gets tested. So please feel free to take these tips as to what can make you emotionally intelligent. One way is for employees to practice emotional intelligence is to be open, be cooperative, and also seeking support. People think that if I ask for help, then that is a sign of, oh, they will think low of me. Actually, people who seek support and actually ask for help are very highly emotionally intelligent because they want to do things in the proper way. If we are looking for leaders, it is important that leaders express clearly. Sometimes wrong instructions or very vague instructions can lead you to a lot of confusion. So a leader who leaves their employees confused has a sign of very low emotional intelligence. And then we have organizations. It is very important to positively reinforce people. Positive reinforce meaning that you are having acknowledgement, meaning that you are praising an employee or praising a department for their good work, or not just not just demand objectives to be met or investments to be met. So it is important that you not just seek for those statistical deliveries, but you also give them emotional support as well. So for organizations, that would be a real test. Before I end the session, I just want to pose out this question to all of the participants that think about an interaction or situation at home that caused an emotional response in you and that didn't go well. So who was involved? What triggered your responses and what was the outcome? I want us to think like this because no matter what situation we are in, we are going to be emotionally involved in that situation. So it is important that we learn to break down what is currently happening, who was involved in it, why did I react in this manner. We don't do that. I just want you to use this as one example where you think and reflect. What exactly happened last time I was having a conflict with somebody? Who was responsible? Why did I react like this? We don't think like that. We just start blaming that this person did this, that, and I got angry. That is not how we assess situations. If you want to be very mentally fit, then it is important that you break down questions in your head in this manner. And based on what you learned, now the same situations that you were thinking about, if you had been emotionally intelligent in that time, how would you have behaved? For example, emotionally and behaviorally. So if you were able to work on it emotionally, for example, you had a bad fight with your friend. So if you were emotionally intelligent, instead of immediately thinking this person is the reason that I am currently feeling hurt, you could think empathetically. Why did the person talk to me like this? Why did the person feel like this? And behaviorally, it could be another reason as to I should not have shouted at them immediately, and I should have actually listened to them first and understand and make them explain. Sometimes we get so hurt in our own emotions that somebody has blamed us that we do not actually act out and question them. We just immediately internalize and dismiss them. So this is something that I hope that all participants can take with them, that you can reflect back into a situation that didn't go so well and break it down as to, if you were emotionally intelligent, what could have happened. Number one, would you have reacted in a better way? And number two, number one, would you have felt in a more intelligent manner? And number two, would you have reacted in a more intelligent manner rather than reacting in a way that is more destructive and conflict inducing? So this is it on my end. I would like for you all to come across, I think somebody said that if it is about careers in psychology, so I could bring your attention towards the careers bit here a little bit. So the BSc in psychology of the life sciences faculty offers a 3-year degree in psychology offered by the London Metropolitan University. So if you all feel that this webinar has given you some kind of insight or interest in psychology and you want to actually focus and have a career in psychology, then it is possible that this program might interest you, where it is a 3-year program in Psychology offered by London Metropolitan University, and you all may have entry. The requirement for you to actually come into this course would be that you have 3 A-level passes or O-level plus foundation in psychology or counseling. So 3 A-level passes and 5 O-level passes is a mandatory requirement for anybody to be interested in an undergraduate program. So if anybody, this is their calling, then then you can feel free to apply to this course. These are some of the modules that may interest you. I think as psychology students, our mind always goes as to what we are learning. That could be on the counseling aspect, it could be on the psychological aspect. So if anybody is interested in the psychological aspect, you are free to have a look at these modules, and you're free to have a look at these year 2 modules. Those were the year 1, and you're free to look at the year 3 modules, which is your final year module. I think these modules are a little bit on a varied spectrum. I don't think you will be having these modules such as the forensic psychology and cyber psychology in one course itself. So we have hope, and we are hoping to give you a diverse understanding on all of this. And if somebody who has already done an HND are free to join the top up of the final year of the BSc itself by showing that they have a higher national diploma, and also by showing that they are of appropriate age and have the proper qualifications for it. So that is it on my end. I hope that upon finishing the HND and top up and the BSc, HND meaning the 3 years, you are able to expand your psychological career into MScs and PhDs and have a postgraduate studying. You are able to apply for memberships in professional bodies such as the BPS. You are able to employ yourself as counseling and psychologists in other fields after you have actually gotten the appropriate qualifications after your postgraduates. But having startup or having a like a starting journey in the counseling field is possible. As undergraduate student, you are able to consider yourself a trainee psychologist or trainee counselor, and you are able to also work with really high profile NGOs and high profile organizations who would really appreciate a psychologist's students' insight on all of the matters that are going across the world. You're also always able to teach in any academic position after you have gotten your BSc. And also childcare and special needs is a huge area of demand for anybody who is doing psychology and is interested in child psychology. So that is it on my end, if for everybody who is interested in the course and who might have found the webinar interesting. So Rukashni, over to you for any questions.
Thank you, Kizra, for that wonderful session and very insightful session. Participants, if you have any questions, please do post it on the chat or even voice out. What about HND? Could you be more specific somehow?
I think what they are seeking for is the first 2 years of what we call a degree is also interchangeably called the HND. So the HND is also available, but feel free to contact the ESU counselors for both options for you somehow. The BSc in psychology is a 3-year undergraduate degree, which will give you a comprehensive insight as a psychological course in itself. And the HND will equip you with the counseling and the psychology aspect of basically both aspects. So if you feel like your calling is a more psychological understanding with research, then the BSc course is more fit for you. Any more questions? Thank you, Durgashni. You can take the lead.
Thank you for taking my job as well. Are there any entry requirements for the HND?
Yes, you just same as the BSc in psychology, which is the 3 A-level passes. And if you have O-levels, then you also should have a diploma in the same context, meaning psychology or counseling diploma would actually be very helpful. Anybody else?
A-level 2 passes.
Okay. Yes, A-level 2 passes. And for the BSc, it would be A-level 3 passes and O-level plus foundation.
I think they're asking if they have A-level 2 passes, is it possible for them to join?
Yes, it is possible. If you, but you need to, but that is only restricted to the HND. For the BSc psychology, you need 3 A-level passes.
Okay,
If there
yeah.
are, yeah, if there are
Yeah,
any
go
more
ahead.
questions, yes. Along with, one second. Yeah, Durgashni, is there a question?
Along with the passes in O-level and the UK level 4 diploma in psychology. Along with the
Along
with the
along
passes
passes in O level and UK level
UK level 4. Okay, I think they have done O-level and UK
4.
level 4 diploma in psychology.
Yes, then they are able to join in the HND plus the BSc psychology 3 years is also possible for them. It is important that you have to it is important that you have those qualifications to register for either of them. It is a hybrid model for the courses.
I registered psychology HND. Congratulations, Samha. All right. Are there any other questions?
Okay, good question actually. May I please the what was that question again, Durgashni? Sorry.
Actually, we are not able to see any questions.
Okay, I have this one question. It asks for how much it costs for the degree. So I think, just a minute, let me double check. I don't want to give the incorrect numbers, which is why I'm going to double check and get to you on this. Yes, correct, Samha. That's right. Durgashni, any more questions while I get back to that student? Not
Um,
participant, no? Too
yes,
used to.
I think they are posting directly towards you, so I am not able to see.
Okay, I think I also do not have so far. Yes, there are online sessions. I think this person who's using the iPhone, the
Yes.
HND is given in a hybrid model, but we are mostly encouraging students to have an insight on the uh, understanding of the courses by attending physically. But there is a hybrid model, and I think there is a lot of potential for students who are coming from various geographical backgrounds to join. So yes, this hybrid model is also iPhone. I do not know your name, so it's difficult to address you.
It's 2 passes can join the HND, no?
Yes, that's possible somehow.
For HND, 2 passes is sufficient, but for BSc, they are expecting 3 passes, if that helps.
Yes. So for the student who has a question on the cost, so the investment for the 3 years is 1,400 USD and 1.2 million for the course in the LKR rupees, which is the tuition fee. This is available for all 3 years. So though the numbers may sound much bigger, but these are possible in the installment basis as well. So when you break it down into installments, it is possible that you might get an easy way of paying your fees. But feel free to forward these questions to our counselors at ESU. So I'm going to share a screen of our counselors' numbers over here. So feel free to inquire about the psychology course in this stage. Yes, I think this, hopefully this, oh, I cannot find the phone number, but let me share. Yes. Yes.
Once I complete the HND, I can join the top-up.
Yes, that is also possible somehow. When you finish the HND, you get a direct entry into the 3rd year and you are able to complete it with the London Metropolitan University. Okay, I think if that is the questions regarding the operations of the like the operations of the HND and the BSc course, please feel free to reach out to ESU counselors anytime that you are willing to, because there are many more informed individuals who can give you a proper breakdown of the finances, can give you a proper insight on the modules. So if you are curious, please feel free to reach out to ESU. With that, I am going to give it back to Turgashni for the closing.
Thank you so much, Kezra, for this insightful session and giving us insights about the courses as well. And I would like to thank everyone who joined us today for your active participation and, of course, your thoughtful questions. We hope this session has helped you gain a deep understanding. So on behalf of ESU, thank you for being a part of this webinar. Please stay connected with us for future sessions and learning opportunities. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much.